Take a look. T206. This is a John Butler. And I have not worked on a T206 before. So like I always advise, before you get to the good ones, which I plan on getting to some real good ones, you want to see what you can do with these. So here's how I practice, guys. So practice with me. I'm not worried about the outcome of this card whatsoever. I just want to learn, you know, and we're going to try a few things. So like, there's nothing I can even attempt to do with the missing paint, but it's very dirty. I want to see if it's on the surface, if it's sucked into the card. I want to try polishing it. I want to put spray on it, and then probably have to even just see what happens if these cards can stand, you know, just to soak, and see if we can pull out any more dirt. So I just like to know all the boundaries. All right, so that's why I start with a real beat up John Butler T206. Thanks for watching. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care. So let's start. I think that the first thing I want to do for this practice session is I want to see spray. Now, I'm always going to say it. Don't scrub spray on paper cards or vintage cards, because if you saturate the surface, you'll pull it right off. Like if I wiped over this ripped area, I'd pull all that off. So just, that's the good rule of thumb, but you can get away with it if you're just gentle. I just want to see if I can get, I'm just avoiding these trouble areas. And I'm just going to keep it brief. But again, it's a practice, so don't paralyze yourself with practice going, oh, I don't want to try this. Try everything. And I don't even know if it's, I mean, it's dirt. There's obviously issues on the surface, but I don't know if it's something I can wipe off or if it's like cooked into the card. All right, so after that test run, the front takes in moisture quick. You can see that. So these cards, even though they have a painting on the front, you should assume that they are rather porous, meaning they have a lot of little ways to intake moisture. So look at, sucked a bunch of stuff down there. So I don't want to polish down there because I don't want to rip off the surface. I have more tests to do. All right, so let's polish up here and just see if it does anything. So what I'm going to look for here is if it soaks into the card, if it removes any of that buildup, those age spots. Really just look for anything the card's going to tell me. Actually, that worked pretty good. And so the polish on a T206 seemed to go on and off just fine. Spray didn't do much. It did nothing. It just made the card wet. It made it look yellow for a second. It's drying now. But I was just very gentle with it because I need this card to last me through the whole test, you know. But see how there's like build up and stuff there? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how do I get that crap off? Is it possible? And then it's like, you know, quite wrinkled. Before, like, I'm probably gonna, my next step is I'm just gonna soak the card and see if I can pull dirt out of it. But I don't want to go to that just yet. I want to see if I can get a wrinkle out. So like, say I find one of these that's like perfect, but just has like a beat up corner. I just want to see if I can fix that part. And my corner tool is awesome for mainly modern stuff and then even vintage stuff like 50s, 60s, stuff like that. But you don't want to, there's nothing you can do with like these creases that could be super duper old with the tool. So that's why I just resort to moisture. If they're gonna heal, usually a little acceleration with some moisture from the card spray will get it done. So let's watch it together. Literally watching card spray dry. but this is all part of the gig, man. If you want to restore cards and take good care of them, you just gotta commit the time to doing a bunch of tests and making sure you're doing a good job. Now, if you guys can see that, it's still got to dry, but that pulled almost all of that crease out. I can still see a little bit with my thumb. And it doesn't go through to the front, and these cards are super thin, so you just gotta use a little bit of spray if you're gonna relieve a crease or a dent. Try that side too. Fascinating stuff, man. I forget, I think these are like 1913, is that right? I know they're old, 1909, holy moly. Very cool. Very cool that this card is still traveling through history. You know, it's been through a heck of a one. I'm pretty confident that you could just tap these little spots, and if you have creases like that, a couple treatments could probably get it out. This is actually fairly promising right there too. See that stain? If you put card spray on the stain and it saturates the whole thing, it usually means that you can get it out. If you tap it and it's looks all like waxy, and you can't penetrate it, it's something else. I did take some before pictures, so I'll be curious to stack it up and see how restorable, because here's the thing, when you look at a card like this, or any card, it's easy to see the issues, but then you just have to ask yourself, is it like, how much room for repair is there? Is there room for improvement? That side dried. Look at that. I almost got that crease out of there just in moments. That's really good. So let's try just to do this corner. And I stress, whether it's modern stuff or, you know, 114-year-old stuff, you just want to be real gentle with your cards. It's not something that's why I go right for moisture with this stuff, because you don't want to try to put this between something and smash it further and stuff like that. You're not fixing the issue. Like, this is taking care of the issue the best you can, you know what I mean? So I want all my viewers to always know that if you have questions, don't be shy. You're welcome to hit me up. Too many cards in the world for me to save them all, so that's why it's my mission to teach everybody like safe, reliable ways to care for your cards. All right, so I'm gonna take a look here at this corner to see. I mean, of course we're missing the corner, but like I was just looking to see if I could get that little crease to come up. Pretty darn good. So like, here's the thing now. Like a lot of these cards could be super dirty and I have no clue what this is. So either A, I just leave it and it just looks like this. And B, you know, that's not me at all and I could never just leave it. So let's do some more testing. I'm gonna bring in a little dish. I'm gonna open up some card spray and I wanna see how this card reacts. And through the magic of editing, what we'll pick back up. But I wanted to just see if we can pull any of those stains out of the card, how this cardboard reacts to, you know, moisture this way, and just see if we can get all that crap off the front. And as you can already see, it's already all the little bubbles coming out of the card is a bunch of little just, you know, runways and little tunnels, if you will, throughout the card that carry moisture, that carry dirt. You know, these cards, 114 years old, it changes over time. And, you know, you do this right, number one, you can clean the card up. Number two, you'll rehab that paper in there and get everything back to tight and looking good, and hopefully this lasts hundreds of more years, you know. John Butler's been on a good run here so far, so we got to keep him going. So that's what I'm gonna do. So now, guys, I'm just gonna, for the end of this test session, I'm gonna just watch it. I want to see if I can get some of the, like, I'm looking at this, I want to see if I can relieve that. And then, like, when I showed you guys it sideways, it was littered with stuff. I don't know if it's fixable, you know what I mean? But it's the only way I can ever answer anybody if they ever ask me and show me stuff like this, is I tried it, you know? So we're gonna let Butler rest. I'll turn on the camera here in about a half hour so we can see the dirt and everything that pulled out of it, and then we'll get it into the drying process and see if we made any difference. I hope I can teach you some good stuff on a T206. Check it out. It's been about 40 minutes, and look at the yellow. That card is so little and so thin, and all of that junk pulled out of it. So it withheld, you know, the spray treatment, no problem. So now I just want to get that out of here. Get rid of the dirty spray. And now we gotta let this Butler card come back and dry nicely. And I don't think it should probably take super long to dry it out nicely. And I'm hoping the result of this will be all that crap has dissolved, gone away, turned into that brown liquid, you know? And it'd be sweet to see these wrinkles go away too. Look at that. That stain lifted out of there nicely. We'll see if it goes away totally. I can still see it a little bit in there, but I have a feeling it's gonna look much better. So what I wanna do next is grab a couple plates and a couple oversized sleeves. And this process won't take long here. I just want to see if there's any room to get some of those lingering little surface creases out of there. Okay, so get one sleeve down. I'm grabbing another one here, put another one over it. I like to sandwich it like that. It just works well, and you don't have to fiddle with trying to put a card that's, you know, has moisture in it in a sleeve. That just is dangerous. So to kind of show you what I'm doing is I'm just getting the card all on one level. I can see through it, and I can see through the plate. I can see that there's no major bumps or anything like that. And if you have a severely creased card, you can leave it between plastic for, you know, another hour or so just to get it out of there. But for my demonstration purposes, this one's in a good shape. As good as we're gonna get it. So I'm just gonna take those out, get a couple new pieces in here, because this is already wet, so I don't want to deal with that. So let's put Mr. Butler face down there. Do that. Gonna bring in another plate, and I'm gonna watch this one closely, and I'm going to rotate the pads every half hour, you know, hour. Just the more you can rotate the pads, the faster you can pull the moisture out and get the card, you know, hopefully in a much better looking place. So we're just gonna do that. And I'm just, for a little bit of added pressure to help kind of get that moisture out of there, I'm just gonna try to pick it up. It's gonna put a clamp up on the top, and we're also gonna put a clamp on the bottom. All right, so now I'm just gonna stay focused every half hour or so. We're gonna just change out the pads and keep it keep pulling the moisture out of it, hopefully pull some more dirt out of it, you know? So stay tuned. Well, thanks for coming along on this journey with me on the T206, 114 years old, pretty remarkable. And we're at my favorite part, and it's all my favorite part because we learned a lot. I've never worked on a T206 before, and you know, they look delicate and they look like scary to touch. And through this process of, you know, trying polish and sprays and soaking it, and then I've peaked a little bit because I have to rotate these card mats to keep wicking the moisture out of it. You know what? It is all the above. It is beautiful and small and delicate, but it takes a cleaning really well. And I was really happy to see it coming back to life. So I haven't looked at it in about an hour, so I think we should be good. Yep, no more moisture. Dang, that turned out great. So, of course, you know, guys, there's nothing I can do with the big missing paint, but that's why I buy base cards, because I'm going to be working on some awesome T206 cards and cards of this era. And I just don't want to go into it thinking, oh, I got it all figured out. You got to practice. You got to do tests. And God, the white looks brilliant. Those wrinkles are like gone. Got most of the surface cleaned up. All the stuff that is laid behind is like permanent hits into the card. So nothing I can do with that. Let's take a look at the back. Oh, that looks really good. Couldn't get that stain all the way out. Oh well, it's okay. You know, I'm sure I could keep trying if I wanted to. Reduced it quite a bit. Remember the wrinkles and stuff that were at the bottom? Just awesome. Well, I learned a lot, and this gives me confidence to work on more T206 cards, and hopefully it taught you a lot too. So if you have these in your collection, or if it's something you were thinking about working on or purchasing, get a couple cheap ones, you know. And thanks to John Butler here from Rochester. Appreciate you, man. And I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for watching. And I encourage you to practice, practice, practice. So when you get to one of these or whatever it is you collect with a big value on it, whether it's financially or emotionally or both, you just have the confidence to take care of it the right way. So there's the T206. Stay tuned. I'm going to have more coming your way ASAP. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care.